Hello, my name is Romolo Tschantret, and thanks for stopping by today. I'm going to talk about a four-part subject that I'm going to have in different YouTube videos, which is going to be really interesting, informative, and a bit scary. And when I say scary, it might not hit you all at once of why it's frightening, but when you learn about all these things that you've been learning and what the result of the matter is and how they're working it out, you're going to say, wow, it really makes sense. Every time I make a video, please analyze it and see for yourself how it does make sense when you really put them together. All my videos correlate together and they interact with each other, so it's one big story picture. And that's the way life works out, is everything works together. The moon landing, if that's true or not. UFOs, are they real or are they made up? Who made them up? Terraforming, are you wasting your money on it? And do you really know what the conditions are to truly terraform a planet? And is it possible? Another one is the interaction of the people that built the pyramids around the world. Did they actually know each other, or were they actually competing against each other? When you find that out, you're going to be really amazed at how simplistic it is to understand what was going on at the time and who they were actually trying to impress. And why don't we have ancient technology today? Those things will be answered. Another big issue to discuss, and it's really important, is what are scientists today trying to achieve for man, and what are they becoming to man? That's the most important issue of that topic. They stated over and over again what they're doing and what they want to become. When you watch my videos and when you watch them speak, you will start to catch their terminology and how they're speaking and what they're actually doing. And the fact that they're losing credibility because of the golden nugget. And I'll explain what the golden nugget is what you're watching now. Not that I'm the golden nugget, but TV series and stuff. And we'll just go into that too. One thing I like to mention, and I love when other people bring up their YouTube videos and they're so mysterious or speculative. They're always saying that the government is going to shut them down if you don't listen now. It's so important. This information will never be issued again. You got to watch it right away. You start to see a lot of that in videos today. I am absolutely positive the government will never shut me down. The government will never shut me down because they need conspirators so they can block out what they're actually doing. One wonderful example of that is Robert Scott Lazar. He's the gentleman that worked at Area 51. Supposedly, we don't know what he did. But the thing that you really have to realize, that all his information was deleted, the school he went to, the college, the grade school he went to, the college, the university, all these things that he talked about, the fact that he was working at Area 51 was even erased. Now think about this, and this is the wonderful thing. The aircrafts that they were creating, Robert was talking about it for years. It's funny for the government that they love it, because then it kind of dilutes the fact of what they're doing, because there's so many stories out there that even when you see the real one, you really can't tell if it's real or not. So you kind of throw it in the whole soup of the mix of the theorists. One thing you have to put in perspective of who is funding Robert. If you had a gentleman that worked in such a high position with the government, there would be no other company in the world that would hire him, that he leaked so many secrets out. None. How did he eat? How did he pay his bills? Somebody was funding him. Obviously, the government needs people like him. It helps them to cover the actuality of what they're doing. So that's just one example. He did it for many, many years. Was the UFO people around him funding him to make sure that he was addressing the issue? He's working on one side of the coin and he's working on the other side of the coin, but who actually owns that coin? And that's the big thing. It's the same person. So what he does is what they tell him to do. Do you think actually the government would allow anybody, like WikiLeaks? Immediately the government jumped on that because they were actual information going out of the government, and they tried to capture him, to arrest him for what he'd done. And there's been other people that have leaked out highly technical information in the government that has been arrested, but not Robert. He was allowed to make videos. He was allowed to discuss it with other co-workers. He was allowed to discuss it with the public. This made Area 51 so popular. Even today, there's tourists going over there and seeing if they can find out to see a UFO alien. So these are some of the things that I would love to discuss with you. I am going to discuss with you. And I think if you see each one individually and then each of them all as a group, you will see that they're interconnected and how reasonable they sound. Not only reasonable, but how factual the evidence is. So again, I know for a certainty that these videos will be published. It's up to you to look at them, to really consider them, and to really look into what has been said. And I guarantee you, after these videos, every time you see all these other scientists talking, you're going to be able to catch the wording, what they're talking about. Like, ancient theorists believe. What is a theory? It's a thing that hasn't been proven. Space theorist assumptions, or and so they all have a title of this could be happening, it should be happening, and we believe it is happening. And that's the wording that they use. Our crew or our organization believes that these certain things are happening today. Our associates have discovered that these things could be in action right as we are speaking. You see? So they always throw that little twist of, this is true, but really, it's a lie, but it's true. But I can't say it's a lie because I won't get the funding from the television, so it's true, because that's what we believe. So anyways, I look forward to discussing each and every one of the issues, and thank you very much for listening to my video, and I'm looking forward to showing you those very shortly.